He stared at the two bodies in front of him, his mind completely blank. The beam from his dive light hit them directly. They were floating in the murky water, motionless. Their regulators had fallen out and their gauges were pinned at 0, out of air. And then something even more disturbing caught his eye. Out in the darkness ahead, another shape was drifting, barely moving, suspended in the water. This is the case we're covering today, the Mexican cenote diving tragedy. This cenote is located near Tulum on the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. From above, it looks like a natural swimming pool. The main basin is about 366 meters wide, with a maximum depth of only 15 meters. The water is crystal clear, with sunlight reaching all the way to the rocks and vegetation below. For most divers, it feels like paradise. But along the edge of the water, there's a thin, almost invisible rope line. Beyond that line lies a restricted cave system. That's where the real danger begins. The passage has no natural light and narrows to just 1.8 meters, barely enough for one person at a time. The water stays around 20 degrees Celsius year-round, but the currents are unstable and unpredictable. Sudden buoyancy shifts can easily disorient a diver. Even worse is the halocline. Because of the sudden density change, light becomes heavily distorted. Visibility can drop from several meters to almost 0 in seconds. And at the time, there were no real safety barriers. The warning line was just a rope, not a barrier. One step was all it took to cross into danger. On the morning of August 17, 1995, 8 people arrived at the cenote. Their guide, Juan, only held an open water certification with no cave diving training. The shop owners, Harry and his wife Mary, had diving experience but no cave certification. The other 5 were casual tourists with little understanding of cave diving risks. All of them were using basic open water gear, a single tank and no backup air supply, no guideline, no proper cave lights, and no marking equipment. In a cave system, this setup offers almost no protection. At 11 a.m., they entered the water. Everything seemed calm as they explored the main basin. About 15 minutes later, Juan became curious. He suggested going past the rope line into the cave entrance. No one objected. Everyone followed. They formed a single file line. Juan led, the others followed behind. The spacing slowly stretched out and the last diver's light became a faint glow in the distance. At that point, the rope line had already become a boundary between life and death. The last diver in line was Harry. He was uncomfortable in confined spaces. As they went deeper, the passage narrowed and darkness closed in. Only his dive light remained, and even that felt fragile. Panic began to build. His breathing accelerated. His claustrophobia was triggered. He wanted to stop, to find his wife, but she was already far ahead. Her light was fading into the distance. Fear took over. Harry made a decision. He turned back. Without telling anyone, he swam toward the entrance alone. His light quickly disappeared into the darkness.